Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we want to talk about something that touches nearly everyone these days, artificial intelligence or AI, and specifically how it's shaping our personal lives and our businesses. Right now, pause for a moment and tell me in the comments below, what do you use AI for? Let us get a good list going. Are you using it for research, for writing, for finding new music, or recipes, or maybe to plan your day? For me personally, I have really learned into using AI for all sorts of questions. Honestly, I have been asking AI everything lately. Seriously, from things like how do I get rid of the yellow jacket bees that made a nest in my in-wall AC, or where can I buy heating oil for my house? All the way to bigger, more personal questions like what career strategies should I consider right now? And what is happening with stock market deals these days? It has been incredibly helpful. But when it comes to business, I have to be honest, I'm a bit more skeptical. We all want to know how to effectively use AI to help us, especially small businesses owners who are often juggling 1,000 tasks. But we want to be efficient and also want to remain human. I have been thinking lately about why so many small businesses struggle. There is scary statistic that a huge majority of businesses do not even make it to their fifth year because they simply run out of cash. Since hiring people is usually the biggest expense, I'm starting to think AI might be the ultimate survival tool. If an owner can use low-cost AI for the heavy lifting, they can keep that cash for growth. It actually gives the business a real fighting chance to stand on its own 2 feet. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And to help us sort through this, we have an incredible guest, everyone. Please welcome Olia. Olia spent over 15 years in the corporate world, working as a financial consultant. She knows that big company world inside and out, but she recently resigned and took a huge brave step. She started her new own small business as yoga studio owner. Welcome, Olia. We are so excited to have you here to share your wisdom and experience. Let us get into this.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Okay, you spent years in those massive New York City corporations where your role was very specific and focused. Now you are a small business owner. You are basically the CEO, the janitor, and everything in between. Since you have to wear all these different hats, have you started looking at AI as a way to take some of that weight off your shoulders?
For sure. Not only looking, I think AI is incredible for me to source a lot of things, like from emails to marketing to even just picking whenever I need to pick someone's brain on my idea, like am I crazy or maybe it's actually gonna work. AI is, I sometimes call it my invisible business partner. It's somebody that something that I go to for, just sometimes just common sense check.
Can you specifically tell me what task you already delegate to AI right
Sure.
now?
Sure. I gotta say though, maybe not completely delegate. I know there's a lot of agentic AIs, and I am maybe not all the way there with the agents, but just specifically ChatGPT on its own, a lot of email writing, a lot
Ah,
of post captions, a lot of ideas for the reels. For the social media is big these days, and I own a yoga studio. Yoga studio is a lot about people seeing it and getting motivated to come in to try, and also reducing that initial scare of going into a new place. So bringing this out there and also kind of bringing the message, what to expect from the yoga studio, from getting into the space, and how to communicate that, how to bring that message out. So the messaging is something that AI helps with a lot. Myself being not English speaking background, coming in from the Russian speaking background, English is a second language. So in the past, something as simple as writing an email or creating an Instagram post took me forever because I would think and overthink and recheck all the, grammar and how does it sound and what's the tone. And now it's just a breeze because that even as simple but important thing is a tone. I can, talk to AI and ask it for it to adjust the tone to make it maybe kinder, maybe more smooth, maybe faster, maybe summarize something, make it more concise. So it's very quick and efficient in that message, like producing the messaging, whether it's email or caption to the post, or maybe it's a website. My website was a breeze too to create an update, because all the writing there I can consult with AI and format and edit.
Did you use a coding for your website creation from AI?
Not really. For the website, I went through the template tools, and Wix was where we are creating the website. But the actual copy, because anytime that you create a website, even if you use a web developer, they ask for a lot of copy. So what goes in? What text is it about the studio, the events that are there? So a lot of that content was created with the help of AI.
Okay. But let's say, day-to-day operation. So you have a lot of questions from the clients, right? So they want to know when and what and how. Can you implement AI to answer them?
It depends. So there's definitely chatbots that can be added to the website. I have someone, actually my fellow yoga studio owner, who implemented on her website, and I'm considering bringing it in as well. And it is helpful because a lot of questions are as simple as, do I need to bring a yoga mat, or what classes are good for the beginners? So that instant response from AI would be really helpful. Now, I also was thinking about bringing AI for answering the phone questions.
Yeah.
However, I'm still on the fence, because definitely people do want that human connection when somebody is answering the phone. Even when there are texts that are sent, people want to get a text from a person. They don't want to get a text that is automated. They want a person acknowledge who they are, maybe recall some conversations that we had. And I definitely see that messages that are coming in from person, whether it's me or the front desk, getting better response than automated texts.
Yeah, absolutely. I recently have an experience, really not pleasant at all. I was hired with a company, big corporation, and the whole process was remote and all generated by AI emails. And I felt so cold, so, not personalized at all, and actually quit the job even before I started it.
Wow.
So, it's really, so it's a huge help, AI, right? But we still have to balance between human touch and wherever AI can do. I mean, they can answer, but it's really feels so robotic and cold.
Absolutely.
So how are you
people
going to
want
balance?
to see people and to hear people, right?
Yeah, at least the first initial contact, I believe it has to be human for sure. Then eventually you can use emails, right, to sell them some products. You can use email marketing for giving them notices what's going on in the studio, what kind of programs you have, right? But initial contact, it's always better.
Absolutely.
To have, like a human touch. Yeah. So do you see AI replacing human connection in wellness or enhancing it? How do you use this amazing new tools to make your life easier and your business better without losing the personal connection? That's exactly what we just discussed.
Absolutely. And I see AI as the support from an admin perspective, not so much in day to day, not so much in the studio. And this is where the real connection is happening. When people come in, we hold the classes, we bring the energy, we interact with people. Now, when it comes to the back end of operations, so some legal questions, some accounting questions, some admin tasks, whether it's again emails or updates on the website, updates and creating the description for the events, stuff like that. Definitely having AI there is a huge help, and it saves a lot of time. It also saves some money, because it eliminates the necessity of having that person creating these things,
Exactly. And it leads me to another question, actually, because when I was preparing this video, I was thinking, that a lot of startups and new companies, they always run out of cash. I mean, not always, but it's a huge statistic, like 95, from 50 to 95. I don't know, it's a different opinions. But now I think that maybe the owner of the small business gonna be able to keep this cash employing AI, right? And probably we're going to have a better statistics now. The small business have more choices.
Hopefully, as long as the owners actually have ability to step out from the operational side and actually spend some time learning the tools and seeing where they can implement.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's
I
a good
think
point.
that's the hardest part for a lot of owners is running their day to day, and it's constant customer facing. Like, imagine if I would be teaching all the classes at the studio. I probably physically or mentally wouldn't have the capacity to even get into the AI topic and learn. And it's not, some of it is more straightforward than other things. There's still a lot of aspects of agentic AI that I'm still not sure how to use, and I did not get to completely figuring out how do I bring in an agent potentially with, say, updates in customers' accounts or some little adjustments that I need to make for the schedule. I'm still doing it all manually, and I would love to have an AI to help me, and I'm not there yet. But I think a lot of business owners are not even trying or playing with it just because they're so bugged into their day-to-day operations that they cannot get to learning new things and bringing AI in, which I think is a huge miss. And I think that everybody should be experimenting, playing, and just kind of moving along with time and trying things, trying to see how they can implement it in their business.
Exactly. You know, it's a good point, actually. Yeah, I understand. I used to have a small business as well, and I remember this. So you literally don't have time to catch up on everything. Yeah. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's a good point because sometimes the owner doesn't have time just to look for all these options. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And I think right now we see a lot of companies actually coming up from different directions that coming in and bringing in those solutions. But then it's also tricky because I feel like AI moving along so fast that those solutions that are out there get outdated really fast.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's finding that fine balance where, maybe you bring in a consultant, and if you can afford it, to help you with some little things and bring in that AI element in your operations. Or you also have to kind of stay up to date, see what's out there, maybe talk to other business owners, see what they do, and leverage their knowledge, their experience, and kind of constantly evolve and constantly update the processes and operations to keep up with what AI can do for you.
You know, it's a good point as well. This is a new profession.
Oh, yes.
Could be, just
It is
AI
happening
consultant
now,
for
for
small
sure.
businesses, how the small business can use it. Yeah, just, specialize on this topic. That's a great, input. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have someone that I know who is also a studio owner, and as a second potential income stream, she is getting deeper into the AI, and she's definitely farther beyond me into using the agentic AI and running the analytics of her business through AI. So yeah, there's people are looking into how they can leverage the tools and also help other businesses to bring it into the business.
Yeah, yeah. It's also depends on the generation, and a lot of people are so against AI nowadays because they feel a threat. Some people don't even want to touch AI because they feel like it's going to replace them, and they just don't want to do anything with this. So it depends on the generation. Yeah.
I've heard that. And I've heard that people tried and then they got disappointed with the results, and then they say, well, I don't want to deal with it. But also, I think they tried free version. They maybe tried it a year ago, and as I mentioned before, it evolves really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear that once you pay a subscription, even if it's a small initial version, it's so much further along from the free version that you cannot judge based on what happened a year ago or even 6 months ago and using just a trial version, a free version. I think it's constantly playing and experimenting. That is the answer. But a lot of people shy away from it or just saying, AI pissed me off and I don't want to deal with it anymore. And I've heard that multiple times.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah. So it's a great point, really. I'm glad you're here and we can talk. So I guess, we're going to discuss in the next video all about your studio and, anything you can tell about your personal touch in your own business. So for now, thank you for coming and thank you for watching us. See you in the next video.
Thank you.